G'day everyone, Steve from Excellent Fishing here. Today I'm going to show you how to find squid at your local beach. Show over a few key factors of what to look for. So the first one is I usually look for what kind of weather it is. So I usually target squid only a couple of times a year, and that's usually in the cooler months. I find I get a lot more, they're more active in cooler months. That's for me personally. Second, water clarity. I like to see if the water's clear, because the squid, they usually like the clearer conditions. But I have caught them in the darker water, but it's not often. Usually it's when it's clear, and it's not too bad today. It's just a little bit of chop on top, so it's hard to see. But the second one's water clarity, and the third is the area of fishing. So you want to look for reef or structure, so weed beds or reef, broken sand patches. So I like to look for that, and when I find that, that's when I usually start fishing. So right now we're just coming across some. It's hard to see because of the water and the sun. Right now we're coming to the area, so what I'm looking for is broken weed beds and sand patches. I'm about here now. So that's the third thing. So the three key factors I look for is the weather. So you can catch them all year round, but the cooler months I usually target them. The water clarity, I like it when it's pretty clear, and the area you fish. So broken ground, so like reef or weed patches. That's what I usually look for. So we'll go over some of the gear that I'm using today, and the colours that I usually go for. So early on in the morning, I'll go for something more natural, like a bait fish pattern. Got one here that's like a pilchard colour, Yamashita. It's like a blue and silver. There you go, alright. White seems to go alright. That's a white with a red head. And if the water's a bit darker, I like to go for the brighter colours, like the orange and the green. I got this one that sort of looks like it's a prawn. It's got some prawn legs. That's like a green and white. And so that's usually what I'll use for the different kind of conditions. I've been going alright on the orange and green lately, and white. White seems to be a good all-round colour. So I might start off with a white one or a blue one, and yeah, go from there. To gear, the rods that I'm using, only light rods. I got a 1 to 3 kilo with a 2500 reel, because you want, when the squid grabs your rod, you want it to have a bit of give so it doesn't pull the hook, because their tentacles, sometimes if you got too much of a stiff rod or your drag's too tight, they'll pull the hook. So you want something nice and light, and I've got a 2 to 4 kilo. So that's all I'm using today. Alright, let's get into the fishing. Okay, so let's go over the retrieve I like to use. So I just usually give it a flick. They cast pretty far, these things. That was only a little flick. So I just flick it out. I'll probably wait a good 5 to 7 seconds, roughly, depending on how deep you're fishing. I usually fish between, say, 4 meters and 2 meters. So it doesn't take too long to get down. And then I just give it a lift, 1 or 2. So pretty similar to like a soft plastic. Just give it a little yank. You can do it slow, fast. Just a slow lift. Sometimes I do a double. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, squid fishing. Just see what works on the day, what kind of retrieve, but usually I do a 1 or a 2, slow or fast, doesn't really matter. And I've got a sleeper, And surprisingly, that catches a lot of fish. That's just sitting there, just bouncing off the bottom. You just got to check it every now and then because it can get some weed on it. But other than that, that's it. Oh. Yep, got him. Got him. Feels like a little one. Yep. Oh, he's just hooked. Hey. There's only water. It's on the white. That time our zinc. We got our first one of the day. Just a nice little one. I might put him back actually, he's pretty small. But that was on the white squid jig. White. Seems to be a popular colour, that one. The water's fairly clear. I can see the bottom. In roughly 2 or 3 meters, I reckon. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but see sand patches and weed beds, so it's pretty clear the water today. It's a good sign for squid. Oh, on the sleeper, he's pulling drag. Tighten it up a bit. See that? The sleeper just went. Doesn't feel too big, but he was whacking it. Get my net. I'll move this right over. So that's the second one in about 10 minutes, I reckon. They've both been pretty small, but I might just start keeping them. And this one was on the sleeper, the pilchard colour, Yamashita, the blue and silver. Quite like that one. Just another little squid. I'll keep them. I'm only keeping them for bait anyway, not to eat. Okay, so I got a few on my first trip. Now I'm just going to head in a little bit closer. It is low tide, so I've been staying out a bit, so I'm a bit deeper. But if you're struggling to find them, I'd say start off in the shallow and move your way out. Depending on the drift, start off shallower, middle, and try deep. And eventually you'll find them. Another tip, change them up. If you're not getting any bites on different colours, so I'm using white and blue, and they seem to be working. So if I wasn't getting any bites on that, maybe I'd go to a brighter colour, red, orange, or a green. If that doesn't work, maybe a darker colour, black, you know, stuff like that. Eventually you'll find them. If not, it's just one of them days where they're not biting. But if you put yourself in the right area, you'll eventually drift over them. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going in a bit closer. I've got a northeast breeze today, so I'm just heading in a bit. I started off shallow and I caught some about midway, so now I know roughly where to start. So I'll go into around about the same spot and I'll start my drift again. If you're not getting any, then I'd suggest going over a new patch. So if you've started shallow, middle, deep, just try moving over a bit, 100 meters this way or 100 meters that way, and eventually you'll find them. And like I said, if not, it's just one of them days where we all have them days where you don't catch. But if you move around a bit, you change things up, see what works, you'll eventually get some. Yep. I was about to hop it, and one grabbed it. Doesn't feel too big again, but still, I'm only keeping them for bait. Squirt, ink, mate. You done? Another little one. On the white, the retrieve. 2 to the retrieve and 1 to the one that's sitting there. 1 to the sleeper. So that's 3. Get a few more, I reckon. Only need them for bait, so I don't need a full bag today. But we'll see what happens. I'm on. It feels alright, this one. On the wide again. He's come to the top already. It feels a bit better, this one. Ink, mate. I don't want to get inked. Oh. Got him. He got me a tiny bit with his ink, but he's a little bit bigger. Another one on the white. Seems to be a good colour. White. Well, it's a little bit bigger, this one. Just a little bit bigger. Yeah. Oh, feels alright. Just tighten the drag up a tiny bit more. Hey, feels alright. Thought I felt a hit before, and then he let it go. He's at the top now. I think he's alright. Like the last one. Alright, ink, mate. Oh, he got me. He might have got the camera too. Oh, yuck. Oh, in my eye too. You bugger. Oh, he got me. Just got inked. I think some hit me in the eye too. Hopefully it's alright. Bugger, 40 inked it all my life jacket. My arms. That's funny as. Oh well, that's a part of squid fishing, isn't it? Another one. On the white too. Just a little one. Well, he's still going. He's not a happy camper, is he? Oh, my kayak is covered in ink. White seems to be doing the trick. I think I've caught 5 now. 4 of them have been on the white. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully I've given you a few good tips on how to find some more squid at your local beach. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.